Okay, I thought I'd uh, make a demo video to examine some of your issues. You mentioned you were having problems rotating the feet, so let's take a look at that. And I think maybe a part of your problem may stem from the fact that when you try to select the foot, you might be selecting that surface, basically the surface of the object, and you can see it rotates a part of the foot, and it's not really what you want to do. the the basic solution, I mean, is just go for the little X there, the cross, and that moves the foot properly. If you want to make sure that you don't select the surface, you can turn that off. Up here, if I hover over that, it says select a surface, and right now it's clicked in the on position, so you can select the surface. If I click it again, it's now turned off, so I no longer can select these surfaces. So now when I try to select the foot, even the foot surface, it actually, if I get in the vicinity of the cross, it selects the controller. And most animatable objects are set up these days with controllers. So unless it's something really simple like a bouncing ball, you really don't want to select the surface. So you should do that. You don't have to. You can still animate it by just going in and selecting that surface. I mean the cross, the controller. So it's up to you. Now, since we're looking at the foot, I thought we would examine an animation problem. Let's first look at the left foot, and you can see that goes up and down. So this is done basically correctly. And if you can you see the difference with the right foot? See how it angles up on the passing position? It's supposed to be pointed down. So we'll just go ahead and select that, since it's a little easier to select than it used to be. And you want to have that pointed down. Now, one of the things you want to do is find where is the place where you want that to happen. Where would I want? And probably at the passing position. It looks like there's no key here, so that could be part of the problem. If there's no key, let's compare that with the left foot. So the left foot has a key at 10, and then its passing position is right here at 20. So let's compare that with this one. It's got the right, yeah. So there's a missing key, so we'll just make that. And you know what else we should do is we should raise the foot up, because you can see that it's passing through the floor. Now, you were saying you had some problems with the toe tap. And yeah, if you try to grab it or anything, it won't work. But if you select that, over here, you see it says tap toe. And right now, I'll select the word with the left mouse button, then move onto the screen area and use the middle mouse. And I now have the ability to tap the toe. And I'm not going to go ahead and animate it. You should do some overlap so that it doesn't exactly match, so that the toe is down when it's coming forward, and then right around here it goes up and slaps down, so it hits a couple frames later, it's flat down. And I have auto key on, so that if I make any changes to an object, it's got no keys on it at all, so I have to key the first key. So it would be like that. And then you have to. Anyway, I'm not going to go ahead and animate it now in this video. It's going to take too long. Let's take a look at, there may be some other problems. When I play this, I notice there's a little bit of a pop right there. And the animation that you're looking at might not be that smooth, because to save bandwidth, I'm recording at 10 frames a second. But anyway, there's a pop, so I'm going to see if I can't find that by going into the graph editor. So here's the graph editor. And first thing I'm noticing is on the cog, that is center of gravity, is what that stands for. That there are looks like we might have some issues. Let's take a look first at the trend. Now, right now, this is interesting because it looks like everything's flat, but that's just because everything is relative. Maya has scaled everything so that they fit on the screen. If I just select Translate Y and nothing else, hit the A key on the keyboard, it expands that. So now you can see there is motion there, and there is a bit of a pop. Basically, the problem is there's two problems. One is that your beginning and end position are not the same. As you can see, there's a pop right there. The other is that your first frame is 2. Your first key, rather, for this cog is at 2, and your last frame is at 40. And if you look at something else, we'll just pick something else at random. I'll just pick like a shoulder. And you'll see the shoulder starts at 0. There's no rotate Z on that shoulder that I can see. And ends at 40. Starts at 0 and ends at 40. And that's the way it should be for this kind of, if you want to use my technique. And so there's a problem with the cog in that it starts at 2 and ends at 40. There's a pop that's built in, that is this downward pop, and which means that if you're doing a proper walk, whatever he does with the left foot, he's going to do the same thing with the right foot. So he would sort of jump down in the space of 2 frames, because this is at 20 and this is at 22. And this is at 40 and this is at 42. The trouble is that it's going to stay at 40. It's going to stay wherever it was now, and then it's going to pop down in the space of 1 frame, which I know 1 frame doesn't seem like much, but it makes a difference. But even more important than that, if you start to expand this cycle, in other words, you copy this and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, it's going to create a big problem, because right now this is a 38 frame cycle instead of a 40 frame cycle. And now 2 missing frames is not a big deal, but then after you cycle it once, it's missing 4 frames, and you cycle it another 2 times and it's missing 8 frames, and well, now it's a third of a second off. It's really your body is way off from the rest of the arms and the legs. So you really got to make sure that's at 0.